Thank you. I know we have limited time, and Harvey, in his masterful overview of the nature and scope of the problem and what some of the potential strategies for solutions can be, gave us a lot to talk about. But I want to just underscore a couple of things raised by his remarks and also my colleagues on the panel. I mean, certainly it underscores the importance of partnership across sectors, a theme of this meeting, and really thinking about who's not in the room, also that we need to engage to really make forward progress and to create the kind of integrated, comprehensive, and sustainable systems for response. We have to ground our work in trust and confidence in each other, and really the understanding that at the end of the day, if we're going to be successful in both responding to the routine burdens of disease we face and the needs of a crisis, we have to engage the public, because at the end of the day, it's what individuals and communities do in response to the problems, and the trust that they have in institutions and individuals and leaders and systems in their communities that will make the difference. We certainly need to bring science to bear, and Harvey spoke very eloquently about the new opportunities that we have, and that came up in our earlier session. It's not just how we apply science and technology, though, I think. It's also that we are committed to science-driven programs and policies, that we really continue to look at what works and what doesn't, and under what conditions, so that we can make sound policies, because we know that particularly in crises, we tend to do things that make us feel safer but may not actually address the underlying problem in an effective way. And we sometimes do things that are actually not in anyone's best interest when we don't really try to adhere to data and evidence-based decision making, but it can be difficult. I want to raise one other issue that it does kind of astound me we aren't talking about more in the context of preventing and controlling infectious diseases, and of course the growing concerns around AMR. It won't surprise some of you, since I spent 6 years as the Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, but we also have to talk about quality of medical products. If we want to effectively diagnose, treat, and prevent disease, we have to have diagnostics that actually do what they claim to do, so we know what to treat. We have to have drugs that work. We have to have vaccines that actually are active in promoting the immunity necessary to protect against disease. And when we talk about AMR, certainly we need more data about the nature and contribution of substandard and falsified products to the development of AMR. But it's clearly the case that there must be an important contribution. Number one, if the drugs are substandard and falsified, you lose your ability to effectively treat and control infectious disease threats, and you're treating with subtherapeutic doses of active ingredient in many cases, and that, from all that we know, is going to be an important driver of antimicrobial resistance. We've seen it, I think, demonstrated pretty clearly in certain areas. Lots of reason to believe it's a much more comprehensive problem. So we need to really advance the work around quality of medical products, integrity of supply chains, and appropriate storage, distribution, and use as we think about comprehensive systems to really make the world safer from infectious disease threats. Thank you.